It's time for Hipster History. Here's an article that some of you probably don't remember. I'm sure you probably haven't heard of it. It's from June 29th, 1989, from the Associated Press. Very highly regarded establishment, mouthpiece, very respectable. They're not anywhere near as, ideologically driven as some of these other outlets. So this article, again, is from June 29th, 1989, which is 30 years ago. No, almost exactly 30 years ago. Here's the article in full. A senior United Nations environmental official says entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels if the global warming trend is not reversed by the year 2000. It's 19 years ago. Coastal flooding and crop failures would create an exodus of eco-refugees, as in ecology refugees, not ECHO, threatening political chaos. This according to Noel Brown, who's director of the New York office of the UN Environment Program, or UNEP. He said governments have a 10-year window of opportunity. Oh, it used to be 10, now it's 12. I guess we're making progress. Governments have a 10-year window of opportunity to solve the greenhouse effect before it goes beyond human control. This is from 1989. Isn't it convenient that the end of the world coincides with round numbers like the year 2000 or 2050? I mean, what are the odds? Might be 1,000,000 to 1. No. As the warming melts polar ice caps, ocean levels will rise by up to 3 feet, enough to cover the Maldives and other flat island nations, Brown told Associated Press in an interview on Wednesday. Can we pull up a photo of the Maldives? Just anyone. I want to see if they're currently underwater. I don't know the Maldives very much. I know like North Korea and Europe to some extent.
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad?
It's bad.
Let's see.
Hold on, let me just make sure.
This is, we should have listened. They warned us
I know.
30 years ago.
Look at this.
Let's see. Let's see this dystopia.
There's just
Oh my God.
no land at all.
It's hell on earth. This is a nightmare of all nightmares.
No. Oh wait.
Oh.
Oh, there's some land.
Oh.
Oh.
My God, my God. It's like Waterworld. Where's Kevin Costner? Coastal regions will be inundated. 1/6 of Bangladesh could be flooded, displacing 1/4 of its 90 million people. That'd be what, like 22.5 million? That's a lot of people. 1/5 of Egypt's arable land in the Nile Delta would be flooded, cutting off its food supply, according to a joint UNEP and US and EPA study. The Nile floods every year. That's the point of the Nile, the yearly flood. And the black sand, it's a whole big thing, the black soil, excuse me. Ecological refugees will become a major concern. And what's worse is you may find that people can move to drier ground, but the soils and the natural resources may not support life. Africa doesn't have to worry about land, but would you want to live in the Sahara? Well, if it's flooded, it would be fine. Isn't the problem with the Sahara that there's no water? So if there's more water, why is the Sahara a problem? Why do you got to go? Are they really saying, well, the Nile is going to rise, so you have to go to the Sahara? Can't you just move like where the new banks of the Nile are? UNEP estimates that it would cost the U.S. at least $100 billion to protect its east coast alone. Shifting climate patterns would bring back 1930s Dust Bowl conditions to Canada and U.S. wheatlands, while the Soviet Union could reap bumper crops if it adapts its agriculture in time, according to a study by UNEP and the International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis. So let's get this straight. If we don't fucking take care of this shit in 10 years, by 99, the US and Canada are screwed, but the Soviets, they're the ones who are going to be able to figure out and change their agriculture. So the Soviets know what they're doing, and they know how to feed their people. That's what they're known for. They got it covered. Bumper crops. This is the best shit ever. But the U.S. and Canada, dust is tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds in Kansas, tumbleweeds in Nebraska, the Dakotas. It's just tumbleweeds everywhere. But the Soviets, man, they've got it figured out. 1989, yeah. Excess carbon dioxide is pouring into the atmosphere because of humanity's use of fossil fuels and burning of rainforests, according to the study. The atmosphere is retaining more heat than it radiates, much like a greenhouse. Here we go. Ready? The most conservative scientific estimate is that the Earth's temperature will rise by 1 to 7 degrees in the next 30 years. By the way, 1 to 7 is a huge range if you're talking about something this big. The difference may be slight, he said, but the planet is only 9 degrees warmer now than during the Ice Age that ended 10,000 years ago. Yeah, so 7 degrees is a lot. And if you take the median, 3.5 degrees or 4 degrees, that's also a lot. We're 2/3 of the way there. Brown said that if the warming trend continues... No, wait, we're there. Go back. It's at 30. Peter, go back. It's at 30 years, right? In the next 30 years, 89. That's now. Yeah, this is now. Holy shit. So, by the most conservative scientific estimate, the Earth's temperature will have risen by now. Well, we got a month. It's June. 1 to 2 degrees, which is almost the difference between the Ice Age and what it was in 1989. He said if the warming trend continues, the question is, will we be able to reverse the process in time? We say that within the next 10 years, given the present loads that the atmosphere has to bear, we have an opportunity to start the stabilizing process. How the stabilizing? He said even the most conservative scientists, quote, already tell us there's nothing we can do to stop a change of about 3 degrees. Anything beyond that, and we have to start thinking about the significant rise of the sea levels, we can expect more ferocious storms, hurricanes, wind shear, and dust erosion. The idea that there weren't hurricanes until 1989. Have you heard of this thing called the Wizard of Oz? Excuse me, that was a tornado, not a hurricane. Fair. Point conceded. He said there's time to act, but there's no time to waste. 1989. UNEP is working toward forming a scientific plan of action by the end of 1990 and the adoption of a global climate treaty by 92. Listen, if you have 10 years and you're working toward a treaty for after 3 years, that's fucking cutting it close. In May, delegates from 103 nations met in Nairobi in Kenya, where UNEP is based, and decided to open negotiations on the treaty the following year. Nations will be asked to reduce the use of fossil fuels, cut the emission of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases such as methane and fluorocarbons, and preserve the rainforest. He said, we have no clear idea about the ecological minimum of green space that the planet needs to function effectively. The planet what does that mean? Okay. What we do know is that we are destroying the tropical rainforest at the rate of 50 acres a minute, about 1 football field per second, said Brown. Each acre of rainforest can store 100 tons of carbon dioxide and reprocess it into oxygen. He suggested, here he comes, reaching for the wallet. Compensating Brazil, Indonesia, and Kenya, where it's located, for preserving rainforests may be necessary. The European community is talking about a half-cent levy on each kilowatt-hour of fossil fuels to raise $55 million a year to protect the rainforest, and other direct subsidies may be possible. What to protect? Just shoot the people who want to burn it down. The treaty could also call for improved energy efficiency, increasing conservation, and for developed nations to transfer technology to third world nations to help them save energy and cut greenhouse gas emissions, said Brown. So this is, someone sent this to me on Twitter. Thank you so much for doing so. It's a and if you can look it up yourself, everything, just pull some quote from there and goggle it. It's from the AP. It's on their website. It's just absolutely amazing.